Alright, let me do like a update for y'all. I haven't put up a video in a couple weeks. It's been a stressful couple of weeks for me. I hate when this happens. So, I can't put up YouTube videos unless I'm in the right state of mind. It's really that simple. Because I'm not trying to just put up crap that is going to chase everyone away from my channel. I want to put up interesting and useful videos. And there's a few that I want to make, but I got to get this update kind of out of the way. So I'm homeless again. I'm back out in the wilds of the suburbs of Florida. And so the eviction happened at the mechanics. And I knew it was coming. And the truth is, I had planned on leaving there long ago. But, I'll give you, I guess, a quick rundown of the past, how I ended up here. So it's been a whirlwind this last couple of years. My whole fucking life has been a whirlwind. So this last couple of years, what happened was I was homeless in New York City. Watch my previous videos if you want to know why. My life story is so long that it's unbelievable. I've got it all written down, and I update it once in a while, and I look at it, and I'm like, what the how? It's like, I feel like I've lived through 10 lifetimes. And so, here we go again with another lifetime that I'm just starting off now. So, this last couple of years, what happened was, I was homeless in New York. This whole COVID thing happens out of the fucking blue. I mean, I was just getting to the point with I was about to be off the street, honestly. I was doing portraits in New York, in Central Park. I had a rep. I had customers. People would come to Central Park to get my portraits. This is how popular my shit was. And I was about to start selling prints of my other drawings. My money was about to go up, and I was excited. And then I start hearing things about this virus. And then I'm like, oh man, when this hits New York, it's going to be haywire. And it was worse than I thought it would be. It was so bad that I left New York. They shut. I couldn't make no money. Thank God I had an Instagram following who was willing to buy my portraits through the mail. That kept me on my feet. And then all of a sudden this unemployment comes through. So people were telling me, like, dude, you should apply for the unemployment. They're giving it to street artists and street performers. I'm like, I don't want to waste my time. And everyone's like, I'm telling you, dude, you're going to get it. I'm like, okay, let me fill out the application. What could it hurt? So I do. Months go by, and I hear nothing. I'm thinking, they ain't gonna give me unemployment. All of a sudden, one day in June, this is after struggling from March until June. I was barely getting by. All of a sudden, I wake up to all of these notifications on my phone. They back paid me the unemployment. They also gave me an extra $500 a week. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me? All of a sudden, I got $6,000 in my Cashapp and more money coming in every week. And I'm like, okay, my plans went out the window. Now I got to make a new plan. New York is dead. I can't do portraits here anymore. But eventually, it's going to come back. This is my initial plan. And so I'm like, let me buy a truck to live in. I'm gonna park it in Brooklyn, and I'll take the train to Manhattan every day. At least I'll have shelter now. And I'm looking at the cars for sale in New York. I'm seeing some decent shit in New Jersey. Anyways, I'm like, well, first I got to get my license back. So I go to the DMV in Manhattan, and they tell me there's a 6-month wait, and there's all this stupid COVID rules and all this nonsense. And they're also telling me my license expired. My Florida license expired. They're telling me I've got to retake the test. I got to borrow my cousin's car. I can't even do none of this until December. And I'm like, I don't want to just sit around in New York until December doing nothing. I'm like, fuck this shit. I Google, I've got to renew my Florida license. If I go to Florida, what's it going to take to get this done? And Google's like, nothing. You go to the DMV in Florida, you pay them $30, they renew your license. I'm like, okay, I'm going back to Florida. And so from June until October, I just chilled in New York and took a couple of months off to just enjoy my city, chilling, smoking herb, going and revisiting all my favorite places in New York, eating at all my favorite places to eat. I'm chilling, I'm good, I'm in a great mood. I'm optimistic about the future. I'm going to go to Florida, and I'm going to get a car to live in, and I don't know what I'm going to do from there, but at least I'm not just homeless in New York no more. To be honest, I was probably planning on going back to New York to go back to my original plan with the portraits and the selling prints, and I'd be making $1,000 a day if I was doing that in New York right now, but I'm past it. I'm bored with it. My life is different now. So anyways, I get to Florida. I'm like, I need to get a vehicle. I'm living in a hotel, wasting thousands of dollars. And I can't find a good vehicle to buy. Finally, I find this Honda CRV. I buy the CRV. I'm living in it. I start doing Uber Eats because the unemployment, I can't live on that. Not forever. I'd rather be ahead of it. So I start doing Uber Eats. And I hate it. It's driving me nuts. I start doing YouTube also, though. I've been wanting to do it for years. I'm talking about I wanted to do a YouTube in like 2008. I just didn't know what to do. And then when I was doing stand-up comedy, I did put up one of my stand-up videos on YouTube, which got a lot of views. It got like 100,000 views. And so anyways, I start doing YouTube a little bit when I'm not, I'm doing Uber Eats and YouTube. I ain't thinking much of YouTube. I'm just throwing videos up about living in a car and whatever. All of a sudden, my car starts breaking down. I can't do Uber Eats no more. I start doing portraits in Florida. Next thing I know, my YouTube is blowing up. This is around 2022. All of a sudden, my YouTube is monetized. And then my car's like dead. My engine needs to be rebuilt. And I'm like, I had to borrow money off one of my friends, and he actually just gave me $1,000. I paid him back $1,000, and he let me. He was like, don't even sweat the other $1,000. I was like, well, thanks, bro. So I could afford to I wouldn't have even had to borrow money off of it if it happened now. But my YouTube had just started getting monetized, and so I'm stuck at this other mechanics around Tampa, because it took them a month to get the part to rebuild my engine. And so it's been a whirlwind this last couple years. So then my engine gets fixed finally, and I'm like, okay, I don't have to stay at this mechanic's parking lot anymore, thank God. I leave there. I'm back out in the wilds, and I'm doing YouTube. All of a sudden, I'm driving down the road one day, some girl rams into the side of my car, and I thought it was fucking totaled. I was like, oh my God. She hit me so hard that she knocked me into the turn lane in the oncoming side. She gunned it. She was trying to get across to make a left, and I was coming down the road around a curve, and she rammed into the side of me. And now, like a dummy, I thought I hit her. The wreck happened very fast, and all I saw was this car flying out in the road. As I'm riding by, I slam on the brakes and pull my wheel to the left, and there's a collision. I thought I ran into her, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, is this my fault? I don't know. And it didn't even occur to me, you could look at the cars and see that the side of my car is wrecked and the front of hers is wrecked, so obviously she hit me. But I had just been in a wreck, and I wasn't thinking. I live in my car. I'll be the first to admit I was in like a panic. I call my brother up. He's like, well, you can stay with me for one day, but I'm like, my brother's fucking useless. I just hang up on him. I call my friend up in Tarpon. He's like, yeah, I got AAA. Get your car towed to my house, and figure out what you're gonna do. You can stay here, you know. And I'm like, thank God for my buddy. And so I get my car towed to his house. I end up not even waiting for AAA. I'm like, oh, fuck AAA. I'm not as broke as I used to be. I can pay $100-something to get my car towed. So that's what I did. And then I'm at his house, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And I called my insurance, and I'm like, I'm realizing at this point the next day, I'm like, oh, she hit me. I didn't fucking hit her, you know? And so I call my insurance, and they're like, well, no, the cop said it was your fault. I'm like, how the fuck is it my fault? They're like, we don't get it either. They're like, her front is totaled and your side is totaled. They're like, obviously she hit you, but the cop said that you were probably speeding. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I wasn't speeding. And I'm thinking back to the conversation with the cop. She's like, how fast were you going? I was like, I don't know. I wasn't looking at the fucking speedometer, you know? I was like, I was just driving with the traffic. I don't know how fucking fast I was going. What I should have said was I was doing 35, you know? But I'm too honest for my own good. I wasn't fucking speeding. First of all, I'm in a 2005 Honda CRV, which, if you saw the road I was on, if I was speeding on that road, my car would have wrecked. It's a lot of curves, and this is not a fucking McLaren. This is a 2005 Honda CRV that I live in, with everything I own in it, with fucking 1,000 pounds worth of tools in the back. I got a lot of construction tools. I like to do carpentry. And so I'm like, I couldn't fucking speed in this thing if I wanted to. And so I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, so I'm just out of a car, and the insurance people are like, you can take it to court and argue with it and get it overturned. I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm sitting at my friend's house, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to just stay at his house for months. He's got kids. He's got a wife. He's got a full-time job. He doesn't care, but I care. I feel like I'm like his third kid or something. I don't like it. I like his kids. I get along, you know. He's one of my best friends from high school. But I just don't want to be at his house, you know. So I just don't want to. I feel like, you know, it's uncomfortable to, you know, to be like just living at my friend's house for free. So next thing I know, my brother calls me up. He's like, yo, my mechanic said he'll look at your car, and if he can fix it, he'll fix it. He's like, you can stay at the trailer behind his shop, and you guys can figure something out, but he don't care if you stay there. He's like, so get your car towed down there. I was like, okay. I get my car towed down to the mechanics. I get there, and the trailer that he had for me to stay in was not a trailer that people live in. It's like a cargo container, which has had these meth head, crackhead, lunatic mechanics staying in and out of it for years. It's in the back of this swamp part of the yard, and I'm like, oh my god, there's mosquitoes, there's a bunch of spare tires, it was collecting water. You never seen so many mosquitoes in your life. This fucking trailer was full of mosquitoes. I'm like, oh my god. And the other thing is, if I turn the light on at night, there'd be fucking spiders this big on the fucking ceiling hunting shit. There's fucking lizards and geckos, and I'm like, this is like fucking Jurassic Park in here. So I'm like, this is what I gotta do. Anyways, the mechanic's looking at my car. He's like, it ain't that bad. He's like, it's the fucking control arm. I'm like, how much is it gonna cost to fix? This mechanic is a little crooked. He's like, I don't know. He's thinking of ways he can get more money out of me. And I'm like, oh, you know what? So I'm like, well, so you want to fix it and I'll pay you to fix it? He's like, well, we can do this. He's like, just pay me. I'll hit you up for money occasionally, and then when I get around to it, I'll fix your car. I got to fix all this other shit and do all this other shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Like a dummy, I agree to it. So I'm giving him money all the time. Not all the time, but I'll put it to you this way. I ended up paying about 3-4 times what this repair was worth, because I've talked to other mechanics and they're like, it's like a fucking $800 fix. I'm like, oh, really? Because I paid like $4,000 for it. But I was, you could say I was kind of paying rent to live in this fucking trailer or whatever. Anyways, so for about 2 years, I've been at this mechanics. Watch my previous videos if you want all the details. Plenty of shit has happened. But I'm telling you, it's been a whirlwind this last couple of years. So I stay there for a couple of years. What I didn't realize was that it really, it was very stress-free. You know what I mean? So what ended up happening was, now that I'm like back out in the wild, I've realized this is kind of stressful living in a vehicle. I forgot because I don't, for whatever reason, I try to hide the fact that I live in my vehicle. Although, to be honest, now that I'm back in Clearwater, it's like a lower income area. To be honest, I'm more comfortable in the lower income areas because I'm not afraid of people trying to mess with me. When you've got the right attitude, people don't fuck with you. They're more interested in being friends with you. I've got friends around here that people who are not used to these type of areas would probably be afraid of these people, but it's all about how you feel. People, when you're scared, you kind of attract aggression out of people. I don't have that. I'm chilling. I'm good. People are friendly to me, and I'm friendly to them. Unless I'm pissed off, then I can be a real asshole. But that's the thing with me. Fear. I've realized that my anger over the years, it's fear. It's just that my body reacts to fear by getting angry. You know what I mean? So what I've realized being back out here now is I do have this underlying stress, fear, frustration with, having to live in the car again. But here's the difference now is I notice it and I can control it more. You know what I mean? So what I didn't realize before living at the mechanics was I did have this underlying stress and fear and frustration. I just didn't notice it. And it's why I was so on edge a lot of the time I was just angry. You know what I mean? And for the past couple of days, I've felt it again. But the difference is now I notice it. And I'm like, I'm not going back down this road where I'm angry and nasty and, snapping at people, whether online or in person. I don't want to be like that no more. It doesn't feel good. I feel like it's just bad for my health to be just angry and frustrated all the time. So, now that I'm back, so what happened was, my friend, the one who, when my car got wrecked, I was staying at his house. He needed me to watch his dog because his dog likes me, and his dog is not the most well-behaved dog unless she likes you. So he can put her in the kennel. He had to go to New York for a week. So he can put her in a kennel or whatever, but she has to get muzzled. She gets into it with the other dogs. She doesn't like other dogs around when she's eating and shit like that. She's a little on edge, this dog. And so when he needs someone to watch her, he tends to want me to do it because his dog fucking likes me. So about a month ago, he's like, Joey, can you watch my dog in February? I'm like, yeah, probably. Hit me up in February. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to be doing in February. Hit me up. And he did. About a week before he needed me to watch the dog. I'm like, yeah, I can watch her. I ain't got shit going on. And then all of a sudden, the day before I'm going up to Tarpon to watch his dog, the eviction happens. The owner shows up. I knew this was coming because the mechanic hasn't moved out yet. There's still stuff everywhere. And finally the owner just had enough, and he's like, oh, you guys got to go, this and that. And so I'm ready to just take off right then and there. I was like, the mechanic wasn't even there. The owner came up and he's talking to me. He's like, you guys got to go now. I've been waiting 8 months for you guys to go. I'm like, dude, I'm ready to go right now. I live in my fucking car. I'm like, where's the mechanic? I don't want to say his name. So he's like, I don't know. I can't get a hold of him. I'm like, look, I have no problem leaving right now, but I was going to help the mechanic move some shit. So you want me to just leave right now? That ain't going to fucking bother me none, but I feel like I'm ditching the mechanic. He's like, well, He's like, we'll stay out front tonight and talk to him when he comes around because I want you to help him. So I stay there that night. And then in the morning, I talk to the mechanic. And I'm like, dude, I got to go watch my friend's dog. And he's like, dude, fucking, hey, go ahead, man. He's like, take care. I felt bad, like, leaving him in the middle of this mess. I feel bad about the whole fucking thing, man. You know? So I'm gonna ride my bike down there today and see what's up. If you need some help moving shit, I ain't got no problem with that. I don't mind a little hard labor. It's good for you. So I do, you know, people blow my mind. I don't want to lift all this heavy shit. Why not? It makes you fucking strong. Why not? Like, jump at the opportunity to lift some heavy shit. People pay to go to the gym to do it. Someone's asking you to do it. They're gonna pay you. No, the mechanic's not gonna pay me. But I don't mind moving some shit around. It's good for you. You know, I like working and working out and being physical. I like it. I don't know why people don't like it, to be honest. So, anyways, I'm gonna head down there and see what's up. Geez, it's already been 20 minutes, this video. I feel bad about all the cats. I don't know what's gonna happen with the cats. I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. The cats know when something's up. The cats were not happy this last week or so with all this stressful shit happening. So, you know, I feel bad because the cats, when they're fucking stressed, they tend to come to my area of the yard because I'm chilling over in my area. I ain't stressing about shit. It's very calm in my area. The mechanics area is nuts. There's people screeching and screaming and shit, heavy shit getting moved, you know. So when it's crazy over there, the cats tend to hang out around my car, and I don't mind it. I like the cats. They sleep on my car, under it. I like the cats. And so I don't know what the fuck they're doing now. You know, they ain't got me in my little area over there no more. I don't, you know, the whole thing just breaks my heart, to be honest. But here's the thing. This is the thing I see with a lot of people. They ignore their problems until their problems come crashing down on their head. And that is, you can do that, but it ain't gonna do you no good. You know what I mean? So, you know, the mechanic's known he's had to go for like a year now. He's got a trailer to stay in. Now, if I was him, there's all these 55 and older mobile home parks in Florida. If I was the mechanic, I don't understand why he's not doing this. Rent a lot from these people, $500. You can plug into their power. You got a place to stay, $500 a month. You got that. You're a mechanic. You can make that in a day. And then just be a mobile mechanic. He's got multiple pickup trucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be so simple. I don't, you know. So, I don't know. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So, if I was him, that's what I'd do. I guess his thing is he doesn't want to work on cars no more. But you know what, dude? It's a valuable skill. You can make a lot of money doing it. Do it for a couple more years. Get your money back up. And then figure something out. At least you got a place to stay, you know? So, I don't know. I'm going to ride down there today and see what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But I guess that's the update now. My next video is going to be probably very interesting, maybe a little controversial. I got an idea for a video that I wanted to get this one out of the way first. So, yeah, sorry I ain't been here in a couple weeks. Like I said, my whole life has been a whirlwind, but this last couple weeks has been especially a whirlwind because I'm worried about the cats, I'm worried about the mechanic and all this other shit, you know. And then all of a sudden I'm back out in the wilds, and like I said, I forgot how stressful it is. But I gotta say, now that I'm back in Clearwater, I was staying in a more higher income part of town where I've got to worry more about all these Karens looking for something to complain about. Oh, there's a homeless guy living in this parking lot, that type of shit, you know. In Clearwater, nobody fucking cares. There's multiple people living in their cars, and Homeless people, no one cares around here. So cops ride by me, they don't even fucking look at me. So I'm a lot less stressed out now. I've got, I'm good. I'm back to good, I think. We'll see. But so that's what's up with me now. There is another mechanic who I could stay with, but I don't know if I want to do that because, like I said, here's the problem. When I've got somewhere to stay, I don't got to worry about nothing. I'm content. I don't do a whole lot now. I don't want to just be staying in random parking spots. I can pull it off. It ain't a problem. But being in this position motivates me to get my fucking money up, So I'll put it to you this way. If I get bothered a lot with staying in random parking lots and shit, I will get a hold of that mechanic and go stay in his yard. But I'm gonna try to just stick it out here because, like I said, this shit motivates me to get shit done. But we'll see what happens anyways. But yeah, I'm back now, so I'll get back to getting my videos up. And yeah, thanks for the patience, y'all, and I appreciate you. Thanks for the subs, thanks for the likes, thanks for the tips, thanks for the Patreons especially, thanks for the channel members especially. I've been still putting videos up on Patreon. That I don't care if the world is collapsing around me, I get my videos up on Patreon. So I guess, yeah, that's about it. If you want a response to your comment, try to get it in the first 30. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you in the next one. Should be, a couple days. We'll see. But yeah, couple videos I want to make. I want to do another tour of my vehicle now that it's actually a lot better than my setup is pretty dope, actually. I mean, you can't really see anything back there, but I'll show y'all everything. I'm going to give y'all like a detailed walkthrough on the next one. The last one I just kind of breezed through it, but I'll show y'all like my daytime setup and my nighttime setup. That's not going to be the next video though. But yeah, so yeah, I'll see you, within the next couple days. Appreciate you and see you on the next one.